Hello and welcome back to another episode of Hardcore Minecraft. Today, get this, I'm going to be building. I know, crazy. If all goes as planned, I'm going to be building 3 houses. But if I don't build 3 houses in this episode, well, things didn't go according to plan. I've recently noticed that we just passed 700 days. You can see down in the bottom left-hand corner. And I think I need to kind of pick up the pace a bit. I haven't even explored the nether because I'm too scared, and it's past day 700. That's not good. I actually checked recently, and jumping off the top of my roof straight to the ground, it only takes 2 hearts of damage. I'm not sure why I'm so scared, so I'm not sure how well you can see it, but I have 3 squares with black wool kind of marked out. That's not the actual dimensions of the build, it's just kind of the area. So my plan is a Fletcher house right there, a butcher house right there, and a farmhouse right over there. I'm thinking I do one huge time lapse where I do all 3 builds, and then I just talk you through my thought process and just talk about the builds. And I do want to go to the nether and progress, but I don't, no, I'm gonna put off the nether for a little bit, but I'm just gonna build for a bit longer, I think. Well, anyways, time lapse. This area is really coming along, and these houses are really helping with that. I love how these turned out, and I also tried a lot more techniques with texturing and just kind of shaping these houses, and I think they turned out good. I don't really know, but I'm going to talk you through kind of my thought process when building these, and we're going to start with the Fletcher house. Don't mind the big railway, I'm just trying to transport villagers. And, well, I'm just gonna do it all off camera because that's really boring. So, the outside. First off, everything outside of, like, the walls, like these bushes and, like, this area, I like it a lot. It makes it all blend a lot more just kind of into the world. It makes it not look like it was just plopped here from creative mode. I like this because, like, with the target blocks, you could be like maybe the Fletchers come out here to practice or something. And I don't know, it's just nice how it can tell a little bit of a story. Not a lot, but just a little bit. Like I said, these bushes just help everything just connect a lot more. Just I don't know why, but I've learned that from just building all these houses, putting bushes and just stuff outside of the walls helps so much. And also, you can see I started using stairs to help texture planks because planks are really hard to texture. Like the only thing I can think of, stripped logs, and that's like their only use, I think. So I think using the stairs gives it a lot of depth that's really needed. And also the roof, you can see that the inside of the roof is all just planks, and the outside and the perimeter is with kind of stairs that are a bit lighter and that are all stone and stuff. I think that's good for just contrast and just makes it pop a bit more, if that makes sense. But yeah, the interior, I mean, this was a bit of a struggle, but I think it turned out okay. We have these two armor stands, because maybe if the village was under attack, then who knows? Maybe they could, I don't know, maybe help defend it. I don't know. I mean, since they're bow and arrow guys, it makes a little bit of sense. And I just threw some workstations and just random blocks up here just to fill the space. And I had a bunch of lanterns and just, rafters or whatever those are called. And tons of space for villagers. So I did a little bit of terraforming and raised up the house just to show that it's a lot more important than, I don't know, maybe the butcher house. I used the same kind of technique on the roof, with the perimeter being stone and the inside being planks. I like it a lot. And also, this is the first time I've kind of had a roof go into a wall, if that makes sense. I don't know how to explain it, but the first time I've had kind of this action going on. And something that was kind of risky, I think, was I used sand and sandstone to texture. I don't know if that was a good idea or not. It really pops out and shows a lot more than maybe the logs, but I think it works and I still like it, so I'm gonna go with it. And again, you can see how I used the stairs. And again, in this build, you can see how I used the bushes to blend everything together. And also, I think this house resembles that one the most, just because there's a lot more of a light dark contrast, if that makes any sense. Anyways, let's move on to, I think this is my favorite interior. It shows that I just have a surplus of food and vegetation, and like I tried to store it on here and over there, but it just fell off, and it even takes up a whole area of the whole house, and I love it so much. And this little area is so nice. I like it. I love it. You have the glowberries growing down with the, I think that's called drip leaf. Yeah. And then all of the, then another little moss azalea plant with just all these random stuff, and I like it a lot. It's just so colorful and it's nice. And also this huge like ceiling and this, I don't know if voltage is the right word, but the high ceiling makes everything look a lot more grand. And since this is probably going to be one of my most used kind of villager areas, I think it's good that it has a tall ceiling. But moving on to our last house, this this was kind of tricky. I've never done a house like this. First off, I tried to make it a lot more unique because this one's pretty tall, and so is that one over there, and my house too. All of these are pretty tall buildings. But this one I meant to be like very short, very cozy and tight, if that makes sense. Like this, the roof is 2.5 blocks off the ground. That's crazy. And the roof itself is pretty weird. I've never used trapdoors on a roof, but I think it worked out kind of alright. I think the curve is nice with no like actual peak, and I don't know, I just like it. And also, it looks really rough, as you can see over here. And yeah, the roof is pretty beat up, which is a lot different from all the other houses, which I think it's pretty good, just because, I don't know, I want all the houses to have their own little, I don't know if taste is the right word, but all their little uniquenesses. And yeah, I think this is pretty good. Just the texturing too, like, I've never used bricks or granite, but they go so well together. I mean, how can I not? Also, there's a pen for the unfortunate animals, and also a little stall, which you can just kind of hop down here, open the trap door, and then sell all of your incredible product. This obviously won't actually be used, it just looks kind of nice. And again, guess what? I know, bushes, crazy. Let's head on into the interior, which I struggled with. Like, I don't really know what to put here. But something that I think kind of works, just start placing down random blocks and random kind of tool blocks, and it'll start filling up space and not look horrible. Like, why is there an anvil and a cauldron? That It doesn't make much sense. And why is there stone with a stone cutter? This is a butcher house. It makes no sense. The only thing that really makes sense is the crafting table and the fireplace. That's kind of it. But I think having all this is a lot better than nothing. So, yeah. And also, I think this trapdoor technique with the villagers looks a lot cleaner than, the other one where you'd have to, tool block or job block where this trapdoor would be. But this looks a lot better, and it just looks a lot more appealing and displeasing. But I love these 3 houses, and I think they added a lot to this whole area. I think my vision is finally starting to come together, and I'm so happy. But there's a lot more work, and 1.18 is coming out, so I might take a break from building and just go out there and find some awesome mountains. I'm excited for the future of this build, and oh man, it's coming together. But yeah, I guess that's kind of all I got today. We built 3 houses. Like, that's so much. This took 50 days to make. Like, 50. In the beginning of the episode, I talked about how we just hit 700 days. It's on day 750. What? Yeah, I guess I'll see you guys later. Subscribe if you want to, and see ya.